is Rathi Kumar, and my pronouns are she, her. I'm a Canadian-born female of Indian descent in my late 30s. I have brown eyes, short, dark brown curly hair with a fringe, and today I'm wearing some bright yellow trousers and a black top. I'm speaking to you as Operations Director of the brilliant Young Vic, a producing theatre based in London in the UK. Our Artistic Director and CEO is Kwame Kwe-Armah. Woo! Yeah, Kwams. We are a theatre that believes in pioneering, learning, and discovery, being led by the creativity of our artists. And we believe our theatre is at its best when everyone is able to participate. Today, I'm going to tell you a story of innovation that was born out of a desire to transform how our content can be consumed online while holding true to these principles. March 2020, we all know what that means. By the end of the month, London was in lockdown and the streets were quiet. Young Vic, like all of you, had to quickly rethink its program. For us, this meant shifting our focus from our stages to how best we could continue to serve those in our community who rely on us, our neighbors in Lambeth and Southwark, and our ecosystem of freelance artists, some of whom were just at the start of their career. The constraints we all encountered during COVID led to some creative and innovative artistic thinking. Our Taking Part program and Directors program moved all of their work online without missing a beat. Taking Part engages leading theatre artists to create work for and with our local community, ensuring the work is responsive to the people they work with. Pieces that were originally conceived as live theatre morphed into digital products using online filming, stop-motion animation, and digital zine. Our Directors program engaged with over 4,000 early career artists online over the first year of the pandemic and contracted over 140 freelancers to hold these sessions. We gave space for this community to continue developing their skills and creative muscles, helping them to keep forward momentum. We learned from both of these experiences the value of online content and how it can allow individuals to be flexible, create circumstances to thrive, and remove barriers that might prohibit participation. Summer 2020, London was slowly starting to reemerge from lockdown, and in-person events felt possible once again. While we remained strong in our Taking Part in Directors program digital offer, we realized it would be a long time before we could produce work as normal due to social distancing requirements and fears of further lockdowns. Where the majority of our colleagues were producing online content at a record pace, Kwame, in his own words, wanted to find a way to innovate, not just replicate. The market was saturated with online content from arts venues across the world. If we wanted to make our mark in this space, we knew we had to enter with something that would allow us to produce online content in a new and exciting way. As the year progressed, we did have a couple of productions on site that had a broadcast element to it. It was the Black British Theatre Awards, filmed at the Young Vic for broadcast on Sky Arts, which had the most impact on how Kwame conceptualized what would become our broadcast platform, Best Seat in Your House. Kwame was executive producer and lead creator on the BBTAs. Due to an unfortunate late arrival of some artists, a show that was already at a push to go and complete up on time went up an hour and 10 minutes late. As we all do in this industry, in times of stress, we adapt. These awards were being shot as a live show, and we had time that needed to be made up. So Kwame sat next to the director of the broadcast in the editing suite and called cuts in real time while the filming progressed. Viewing the multiple camera angles at once was the closest thing to seeing everything that was happening in the space in person. So this led to the ultimate vision. How can we replicate an experience that is as close to being able to choose your own view in the theater at home? In Kwame's own words, what do I love about the live experience? Even though the director pushes me in the direction of where he or she wants me to look, I have the final say. I can choose to look at the person who is stage left. I can choose to look at the person who is stage right. I can choose to look at my fellow audience members. That's really where the idea was born, of giving the audience the choice to change seats. The end result was the creation of our Best Seat in Your House player. This is a clip from the player from our broadcast of Breast of Enemies. In the bottom right-hand corner is the director's cut, which replicates a more traditional live stream. Or you can sit in the director's chair and choose to explore other angles by changing the view yourself. On this, we can see different camera angles that we'd miss and views via the camera angle on 3. We also have multi-view options that allow you to see all of the views at once. In order to make the player as accessible as possible, we've included British Sign Language, captioning, and audio description. These provisions are produced live for each performance that we broadcast to ensure all the magic is accurately captured and translated to our audiences. The BSL in captioning translates the words being said, where the audio description describes the action on the stage as it occurs. Now that you've seen what it looks like, let me tell you a bit more about what we were trying to do. We wanted to build a robust system that enables our audiences to get as near to the in-person experience of the theater when their ability to be physically present may not be possible. We know that the experience of theater online is not the same as theater in person. But if we could enhance the streaming experience through multiple viewing angles and ultimately create a more engaging, immersive, and accessible product, we hoped this would broaden the streaming appeal. We're all familiar with how we can choose our view in a traditional theater context. Most venues give you the option to choose your own seat when you're booking your tickets. And depending on which seat you choose, you get a different view. Once you're in the venue and sitting in your seat, you can shift your eyes and move your head across the space to see content that might originally be out of view. With Best Seat in Your House, you have the option of a minimum of 6 viewpoints to choose from. You can choose to be in the director's chair, where you control which camera angle you view at any given time, or you can sit back and relax on the director's cut and have the camera director choose for you, as would happen in a more traditional streaming format. Developing this player was not just about camera angles. We also wanted to improve the accessibility via access features being embedded within the player itself, as shifting our taking part in director's program work online gave us a more comprehensive understanding of the barriers our community face. We wanted to broaden our geographic reach, allowing us to bring our international stories to an international stage. Keep true to the feeling of the Young Vic. It was important that our audience members had the same access to support from the Young Vic team as they would to see any show in the theater itself. We also wanted the voice of who they were speaking to match, and so we trained up members of our usher team to man the live chat function throughout each broadcast, providing the same level of care and support they would if you were to come to the Young Vic in person. And finally, this product gives us the ability to stream live theater in an interactive way if we were to be forced to close our doors to the public again. This map shows the reach our broadcasts have had over the last season. We have viewers from countries as far away as Australia, New Zealand, Japan, China, the Philippines, Vietnam, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Rwanda, Tunisia, Brazil, Uruguay, Costa Rica. You're wondering when I'm going to end? The list could keep going. And of course, we've had viewers from all over Europe, the United States, and Canada. Art has the power to heal and bridge, as opposed to divide. And our art, being played on an international stage, hopefully can do that for an international audience. Feeling part of an international community and creating the opportunity for that community to experience our stories from wherever they are located is one way to minimize our differences and reinforce our common humanity. Overall, the feedback on our player has been a positive one. As we all know, and this quote from Patricia Keeney highlights, stream theater will never be able to replicate the in-person experience. But our player does give the option to observe more than the usual streaming experience would allow. Patricia says, watching this Hamlet live streamed during one of the earliest of 54 sold-out performances, one experiences the tantalizing effect of something significant but slightly out of reach. Is this better than not seeing the production at all? Absolutely. For 15 as opposed to 43 pounds, you're almost there. From our audiences, we've seen a lot of appreciation for the embedded access provisions within the player itself. Matthew tweets, sat down to stream #YVBestOfEnemies at Young Vic Theatre, and best seat in your house is an absolute game changer. Options of caption, BSL, audio description. You can pick the edit. Mind blown emoji. How far streaming has come, my God. And now, on to how you can experience the player for yourself. Our next broadcast is Mandela, a new musical opening at the Young Vic in December 2022 and streaming from the 19th to the 23rd of January 2023. We are really, really excited that for this broadcast, people from South Africa will be able to watch from the comfort of their own homes. Being able to tell a South African story to a South African audience and give them the ability to choose what camera angle they want to view as it's being streamed hopefully makes them feel one step closer to the live experience at the Young Vic. I hope some of you might be able to join as well. Tickets are now on sale on the Young Vic website. We also have a demo version of our player for you to experience immediately for yourself. Feel free to scan the QR code on the screen with the camera on your phones to get a link to the demo and have a play with shifting camera views. I hope you've enjoyed having a glimpse into how we aim to increase the accessibility and reach of our work. Thank you.